Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bebe Clement. As you know, I am a wealth creator, author, global speaker on wealth creation, business startup, and entrepreneurship. And one of the areas that we are looking at now in relation to global wealth and the building thereof is agribusiness and land banking and property, particularly in Africa, Nigeria specifically. This afternoon, I'm going to be speaking with the group manager of Assetrise Holdings, Mr. Rotimi Ojamamwe, and he's going to be shedding some light onto how the growth of agribusiness and land banking is occurring in Nigeria, particularly for those of us who are in the diaspora who are looking to invest globally, which is something I'd encourage you to do. Having a look at what are the issues that may be preventing people from doing so, and why is this a good investment prospect? Let's be speaking a little bit about that.
So thank you so much. It's my pleasure speaking to you today. And for the question, it's very practical that one of the issues we have investing back home is trust. So things walking here, you're stepping out, you see the boss, go to the train station, is there, but we have a system that is not coherent, that's not working. And that's one of the issues with every other investment, from agri to properties to housing, same issues. So what we've done is to now create a structure that makes it easier for people to have peace putting their funds into land banking. And how do I mean? If you acquire a property in Nigeria, a land, and you just leave it,
yeah.
If you go back in 5 years or 2 years, you may not need that land because it's either Monile has taken the land from you or the land is not in existence. So what we've done differently is to say, don't acquire the land and leave it. Acquire the land and put it to use with agriculture. So we create the land banking plus agriculture, and then a new class of asset ownership. And then we power your land with plantations like oil palm plantation. And while your assets, which is the land, is appreciating into the future, your land, appreciating into the future, you're making a lot of income from your plantation. And sooner, in some days, in 10, 20, 15 years to come, the place is developed and you want to sell, you can decide to sell your land and get your money back and do other stuff. So what we've solved is practical land ownership with activities converting the land from just an idle asset into a productive asset.
Okay.
Now, not just a productive asset, but an asset that solves major problems like food security, climate change. So we do more of climatic agriculture. We employ a lot of youths, and then we can also export our food to you in the UK, so you can have food to eat.
Can we talk about a particular project? You have a project called Palm Ridge.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Now, a lot of people don't know what agribusiness is. Talk me through the process from cradle to grave. What does it mean? If I were going to invest in that project, what would I be looking at?
Awesome. So in simplicity, the Palm Ridge project is simply land ownership plus oil palm planted on it. So you acquire the land from us as an estate, same as you have residential estates. But now this estate is dedicated to palm plantation, oil palm plantation. And why oil palm? It's very profitable, it's agile, and then it has global demand across different industries. And so you own the land, we allocate to you after payments, and then you have the documentation to ownership of the land. And then we set up the plantation and manage it on your behalf till it starts fruiting. And that space is within 3 to 4 years, start fruiting. Then after the 4th year, we start harvesting palm fronds or palm fruits from the land and process palm oil, vegetable oil, palm kernel oil, palm kernel cake, and other products from the palm fruits. And you, as the landlord, the palm trees belongs to you. So automatically the fruits coming on it belongs to you. So, but we are managing on your behalf if you choose to, and you can do managing on your behalf on yourself. By yourself. So if you outsource to us to manage, you will sign a farm management contract. And
what's the fee for that, the annual fee for that?
So we take 40% of your net profit.
40% of net?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And then you have 60% of your net profit. However, the land still belongs to you forever. And you can decide to flip or sell the land if you want to exit the project.
So that net profit relates to the actual palm, not the land acquisition itself?
Exactly.
Right, okay, that's fine. And on one plot of land, let's say I was skeptical and I just wanted to start out and I bought just one plot of land. How many trees can you plant on one plot of land?
Okay. So basically we don't do one plot because our palm plantation, it's a major investment. So you target maybe 1 hectare.
Okay, so
let me start from example 1 plot. On a plot, you can have just 10 trees.
10 trees, okay.
The spacing from each tree is 9 meters.
Okay.
And so on a hectare, you have 150 trees. And in 150
How many plots is a hectare?
15 plots.
15 plots, okay.
Yes. So for your 150 trees, according to data from the Nigeria Institute for Oil Palm Research, and also for what we have done for the past 7 years, 150 trees can give you about within 10 to 25 tons of fresh fruit bunch, which is the fruits. And that can give you an average of 3 to 5 tons of palm oil. And then other products that palm kernel cake, palm kernel, and others. So your profitability is on that projection. And I would take about, maybe cost is about 20% or 30%, then the rest is profit. So you're having about 3 to 4 million profit on your 1 hectare product.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Now, what happens after the 4 years? If I wanted to sell, is there any problem with me selling my piece of land?
Yes, because the land belongs to you 100%.
Okay.
So you have the documents to sell. However, you get us involved. Okay. So we can be able to prepare the transfers from you to the new owner. Secondly, the new owner needs to abide by the laws of the estate. You can't cut down the trees for 30 years period.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so
that's quite important to know actually.
Yeah, so once the new owner abides by those laws, yes, you're good to sell. So in 30, why the 30 years? Because the trees are not just cash crops, they are industrial crops. And that's why for a 1,000 to 4,000 hectares, we need to set up a minimum of a 6 ton per hour mill. And a 6 ton per hour mill will cost us over $4.5 million to set up. And we don't want to set that up and you can't cut down the trees. Or you sell to someone who will say, no, I don't want to do palm trees, and cut down the trees. So that's why we have those laws in place.
Do you find a market for the produce?
100%.
You do that as well? Okay.
So we have a lot of markets waiting for our produce. So let me give you a bit of data about that. Nigeria has a demand of almost 3 million metric tons of palm oil per annum. We barely produce 1.4 million. So the market gap is huge. And not just Nigeria, palm oil is a global commodity. If it's traded in Malaysia at a particular price, it goes back to Nigeria also. But who uses palm oil? Pharmaceutical companies, food and beverages, cosmetics, and so many, biofuel and so many. So Nigeria still imports palm oil. We have the land to cultivate. So what we're trying to solve, and that's an economy of over $600 million of imports per annum. And we still bring palm oil in. So we're saying from Nigerians in diasporas and Nigerians in local, we can power a revolution in plantation. And we stop importing, generate enough palm oil to serve our local needs, and then we can also export. And that's a lot of market for us. By data from the Central Bank of Nigeria, that is over a $60 billion market. $60 billion market. From palm oil.
Well, one of the problems that diaspora have is the fact that a lot of us don't actually go to Nigeria.
That's true.
And so how do we secure our investment? How do we know what's going on the daily?
Awesome. And so we've have a lot of thinking around this. So first, like we set up the plantation, we manage the plantation, we tell you what is coming out. That is not a transparency model, because we can definitely tell you what we need to tell you. And you can argue so much because you're not coming back home soon. So what we've done differently is to harmonize partnerships from third parties. So we partner with a trustee company registered by the Security and Exchange Commission, Cedros Group. So on your behalf, they do all the due diligence. And then because they are regulated by law, they can cook figures for us.
Okay.
Because it will fall back to their certificate being terminated. So, and also they do all the diligence to know that if we're saying 1,000 fruits harvested, it must be 1,000 fruits. So auditing to even deployment of your initial capitals. So if you buy into the project today and you pay 10 million, it goes into an escrow with them, and then they release the money gradually as the project is being developed.
Right.
So that safeguards a lot of risk about, oh, I just paid 10 million to you, and then I use the money to go and marry a second one. So Assetrise Group does that.
Right.
Then we have a legal company also, one of the top 5 legal companies in Nigeria, preparing some of the documentations to ensure that the documents are acceptable and not just selfish documents that we decided to prepare. And into the future, we're taking this into becoming a PLC. So it's going to be a listed company in the Nigeria Stock Exchange, and people can have more confidence in doing this. That is how we want to power agro-industrial revolution in Africa. Not just from one man perspective, but from a market acceptable reality. People can trust the system that is working. So that's what we're doing. But currently, from our current operations, you don't need to come back home. First, do your due diligence before you purchase. Confirm from the Ministry of Lands, is this land genuine? Is it government acquisition? Is government going to take it over? Once you have those verifications, the second thing is demand for your report. Are my palm trees planted? With pictorial or video evidence, and then occasionally you can send anybody to come to the farm.
Is there any way in which we can view the land, perhaps on a daily, if I just wanted to see what's going on there? Is there any way in which that can be done?
Yes, so we currently doing our GIS information, and with that you can go to your coordinate and see what is happening.
Right, I think that's the kind of thing that we want to see. That would be good. That would be good. Now, in as much as obviously we all want to make money, but there's so much more than just making money. We want to see Nigeria develop. We want to be a part of the solution. We've got so many youth, as you know, walking around doing absolutely nothing. Opportunities there that are not being explored. How does your company solve the problems, the greater problems aside from wealth, the greater problems in society?
Thank you so much for that interest. So the reason why we shout insecurity today is because of jobless youths.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest assets God has given us as a country is agriculture. We can export food to the UK today. We can export cars to Germany or to France, but we have agriculture, land in abundance. Africa has 60% of the arable land in the world. And that is an asset to focus on to create a lot of employment for our youths. So for Assetrise, as a day we have over 200 persons employed in Assetrise, direct employment, and well over 1,000 persons who are ad hoc staffs. And what we're saying to that more of that is, if we're expanding this operation into 100,000 hectares, then we can keep expanding the data. More persons will get job to work, and beyond the job also, the communities where we're doing this project, they'll be open up to development.
Yeah.
So we have what we call the SIPC model, Sustainable Integrated Productive Communities. So when we go to communities for this project, we don't just create a farm, we create an entire experience.
Yeah.
And so we create districts and models where people can live, play, work, and be comfortable on the farm.
I love it. Yeah.
So you have cinema on the farm.
Oh wow.
Yes. Currently in our Adodo project, which is a phase 7, we have an helipad. So we fly helicopter down there.
Wow.
So, and a lot of developments, and then we create agro-tourism. People come in there to see how works are done in the farm, see a lot of things working on the farm, and we drive economies back to the village. And so people don't need to migrate from the city to populate
Yes.
And so opportunities are evenly distributed across villages and regions and all. And so with agriculture, that is a major problem we're solving. Let's talk about the global problems. So then we can stop, exporting even criminal elements. Because when people don't have job and then they migrate, definitely they become something else.
Yeah.
So then we're solving a lot of climate issues. With our targets between now and 2030, we're going to be planting over 1.5 million trees. And that's a lot of contribution to climate change.
Definitely, yeah.
And to Nigeria at large, we increase the size of the GDP by making sure that we have a lot. We reduce import, and then we have a lot of more money to spend to empower our country. So development is in the root of agriculture in Africa.
Okay. But all your projects they're not agricultural based, are they? Right, okay. Do you want to very quickly mention what else you do?
Thank you. So we have projects across built up areas, residential estates. And definitely most of these projects also are still targeting how we think about housing. Comfortable housing, green housing and the rest. And we have projects in tech. We're trying to solve the trust issues and transactions with Africa. So we have Flap Africa. You can interact with Nigerians with your minds at peace and know that your money is not lasting. And then we have projects across asset valuation. With My Asset Vault, which is an app also that protects your asset, and with a tap from your phone, you can view wherever your assets are in Nigeria and see how that also increase or give you a lot of peace. So we try to create an ecosystem around assets and not just agriculture, because agriculture is an asset, but it powers other. So from farm, we give food to people living in houses. And then from the houses, we have biodigesters in our estates. So all the excretors and everything, we take them from the biodigesters and take them out to the farm. Okay. And that's a lot of integration.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm about to round this up. I just wanted to talk about the major issue, the security issue. Yeah. How are you protecting your land from the problems that we're hearing about?
Awesome. So one thing we can always say is that most of the problems are magnified also.
Oh, for real?
Yes, so you have 36 states in Nigeria and you have massive land mass. And so if there's a kidnapping in one state, most times we generalize, the entire Nigeria is not safe. That's not true.
Okay.
I've been doing this for 7 years. We're managing over 8,000 hectares. We have no incidents of any harassment.
Are you in particular geographical areas?
Yes, so Southwest particularly.
Right.
Yeah. Then when you go to the Southeast, aside some states, most of the Southeast also are safe. So one thing to solve that is also we provide security on our farms. So we have government licensed security personnel on our sites.
Okay.
Yes, so definitely, because if we can do that to banks, why can't we do that to farms?
Of course, yes.
So if the farms are down, then everybody go hungry. So we need to provide security for the farms. So that's what we're doing to make sure that insecurity is not a major stress. And then, like we said, the SIPC model makes the farm not an isolated thing. So in the villages, we treat farms as isolation. You go to the farm, you trek 5 kilometers, and then there's a bush somewhere.
Yeah.
But then we're trying to say we can live, walk, play on the farm. It makes it safe.
Where do people go if they want some more information? How do they reach you?
Our website, Assetrise Holdings or Assetrise Limited, and then all our social handles. And then you can call our office and we give you all the information you need. Okay.
Do you have a mainline number that you can give now?
Yes. So we have +234 23444444.
Do that again.
080 232 44444.
Okay.
That's right. 4 in 5 places. But you can contact us on our social handles or numbers, and then we'll give you all the information you need.
Okay.
To power your business with us.
It's a wrap. Okay. Thank you very much.
It's awesome having you. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.